hi everybody. I'm not sure if we're on yet. This is I'm your host Sandy Decci. We're our monthly show. I'll probably repeat myself because I'm not sure if we went live yet. So here we go. I clicking on there. Okay. Hi everybody. Hey, welcome to Doctors, Teachers, and Rock and Roll. I'm Danny Decci, your host. Please excuse me for a moment while I do all the technical stuff. Also, please excuse me if the technical issues. I'm not too good with the Zoom control, so please excuse me if I accidentally turn off the power grid in your community again. Sorry, I'm trying to avoid doing that again. So let's see. There he goes. I think I got something here. Okay, and all right, technical stuff here. So I'm doing the technical stuff and all that stuff at the same time. I think we're on. Let me see here. We're on YouTube. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to turn that off for a moment. Okay. Okay. All right. So we're on. So again, welcome. I'm Danny Decci, and we have comedians from all over the country. None from let's see, any other planet this week. So anyway, so I'm Danny Decci, and also, I just want to let you know that Doctors, Teachers, and Rock and Roll is sponsored by Salesforce. Salesforce has the tallest building west of the Mississippi, right here in San Francisco. They have the biggest conventions of the year, but nobody knows what they do, Salesforce. And also we're sponsored also by Whole Sandwiches. Unlike those other guys, our sandwiches never have bullet holes. At Whole Sandwiches, you get the whole sandwich. Not available in Texas. All right. So, cool. So here I am. I'm Danny Decci here in San Francisco, and in case you didn't know. And okay, let me start a little bit about myself. Let's see. Well, I don't know how old I am. I just don't know how old I am because my parents lost my birth certificate when they put me in the basket in the river. I do remember the name of the river. It was Niagara Falls. Sometimes I get so lonely for a hug. I just want a hug. So I go to a restaurant and I pretend that I'm choking. So, but my favorite restaurant in my neighborhood is Mama's Diner, and they always brag it's just like Mother used to make. The only problem is every few minutes the cook comes over to your table and complains about your father. So. Throughout world history, there have been so many book burnings that you would think that Amazon Books can come out with a better name than Kindle and Kindle Fire. Don't you think? Yeah. Oh, also in the news, there was a survey on MSNBC News that said that 62% of America's workers are having sexual relationships with someone else in the same workplace. So that got me thinking, man, I need to get a job. Yeah, my last job, I was actually a pizza delivery guy, and I got fired for having a perfect driving record. What happened was my boss got suspicious, and he found out that I did not have a car. I was delivering the pizzas on the bus. Yeah. But I have a car now. I recently got a car. I got a real man's car. Yeah, I got a big old 79 Oldsmobile. It gets an estimated, I don't care, miles per gallon. And its hood ornament is a smart car. So I took my car out for a car wash and a Brazilian wax. And I got my car back. All the carpets were gone. Yeah.
Oh.
Brazilian wax. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But see what else was saying? They say we should still keep washing our hands for as long as it takes us to sing Happy Birthday. But I like to be more careful, so I sing Stairway to Heaven. Yeah, and did you hear about that gender reveal that went bad? Yeah, it was was it a boy? Was it a girl? It was a fire. It was a forest fire. Yeah. We're gonna name her Felony. So, let's see what else is happening. A lot of things in my. Oh yeah, everybody heard that guy from representative from New York, George Santos. That guy lies a lot. They caught on to him when he said he was a New York Giants fan and a New York Jets fan. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he also said he was Jewish, or then he said no, well, not Jewish, but a little ish. Actually, he's meh, more of a meh.
Yes.
Yeah, and also today they actually found out that actually George Santos is 2 kids in a trench coat.
Ah,
So what else has happened? So the Academy Awards is coming up, and this year they're going to have an extra category. The additional category in the Academy Awards is going to be called Best Film without Tom Hanks. Yeah, he's in all the movies. So, yeah, and I went to see this movie. It was actress. I forgot the name of the movie. It was an actress with a strange name, Busy Phillips. Anybody here? Busy Phillips? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess her father probably named her that in case someone like me would go up to her and say, "Hey, hi, I'm Danny," and she would say, "I'm busy." Oh, okay. Yeah, so this always happens to me. Whenever I go into the store, customers come up to me and they ask me questions because they think I work there. I mean, do I look like an assistant manager? I don't know. So yeah, last weekend I was over at the sports shop in the mall. I'm minding my own business, and this guy comes up to me with a parking garage ticket in his hand. He says to me, "Excuse me, sir, can you please validate me?" And I go, "Sure. You're a good person. Everyone likes you." And you smell nice. Yeah. Yeah, the guy goes, "Oh yeah, very funny. Wise guy was talking about my ticket." So I look at this ticket and I say, "You're a good ticket. You smell nice." Yeah, the guy gets mad, he starts yelling at me, and then the store manager comes over to see all the commotions about, and he fires me. Yeah, I don't remember they fired. Although he did get my 2-week severance pay, so cool. One more little thing about me. Yeah, my father was a peaceful man. Yeah, he would always beat me with an olive branch. So. Right. Well, let's see. Oh, here. I'm also a musician, so I'll finish off with a couple of songs. Let's see. I'll play it. Okay, see if you know this one. Yep. Very much. And one more song. Yes. By the way, this is the same pencil I used to fail the SAT test. Okay. So here we go. Classic tune by Beethoven. Okay. Cool.
Woohoo!
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. And that's my time. I'm Danny Deci. And so thanks for coming in again. And we're here every month, every last Wednesday of the month, right here on YouTube or Facebook Live on here. So, all right, cool. Let's introduce your first comedian of the evening from New York, or the day. Actually, it's probably not like, might be evening in Greenland, I think. But anyway, so your first comedian of the day. She's a recovering physician burnout, and she actually served on the front lines during COVID. So let's give it up for Marlena. Okay, Marlena. Marlena.
Thank you, and that was a great set. You won me over totally. So how about a hand for all my healthcare heroes? Do we have any of those amazing nurses out there?
Here we
Let's
go.
give it up for them.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, I've given up. Let's go. Let's go.
I got any doctors out there tonight? No.
No.
They must be back up talking it up to the nurses. So I guess that's just me and you tonight. Yeah, they used to have sex with Me Too, but since hashtag Me Too, now we both have to give consent. You can only imagine what I had to do to get through medical school back then. But that's a whole nother story. Now I know who I am because I've got my family car decal on the back of my car. It's got the stick figure of me, my 2 kids, and my dog Sunshine. So I know who I am with my decal, and I've been happily divorced for decades. As far as doctors go, I'm the radiologist. I'm the one who sees right through you. Mhm.
Uh,
I know, it's uncomfortable for me too. I'm scoping the ditzels, the pixels, looking down every nook and cranny. I'm scanning your innards, looking for tumors, right? I'm your adult gamer. That's what I've done. I've never grown up, in the dark with my stealth vision, just so you don't blow up in computer space. That's my job. My favorite go-to is Space Invaders with your gallbladder. Also, your testicles, tits, and toenails. I love
Oh.
teas, right? You name it, I see through it. Yeah, but most of us dread that CAT scan, or as I call it, the tunnel of truth, right? That shit doesn't lie, right? You wish it would, but it doesn't. And then again, you can compare me to that old-fashioned finger and get your rectal exam. So it's either your CT colonoscopy or your rectal exam. So people keep flocking to me anyway, even whatever you say about us. So as a radiologist for 25 years, I would say these eyes have 25 years of patience on their hard drives. That's right. They're like a pair of chained assassins. They pinpoint the target like a diagnostic sniper.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes I just look at someone, I'm standing at Starbucks looking, waiting for my venti, minding my business. And there he goes, he walks up and all of a sudden he's on my hard drive now. And I'm thinking, you really need a lung scan with that latte. Sometimes I forget that they're there, but yeah. So moving on, I just read this book, a great book called Doctors Anonymous. And what I came to learn is that we doctors, we have issues, lo and behold. And, so it isn't all over there with you guys, we too can have a few too many martinis. An oxy for you, 5 for us, right? But for me, it's my MRIs. That's what I love. I mean, not the real ones like a radiologist. I mean, I love my job, but these are my personal MRIs. It's my Marlena Reed's into shit scanner. Yes, this is where I work overtime because I want to do something more than hold on to my dictaphone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, really. I mean, I heard that. I'd like someone to be seeing through me for a change. So I do what everyone else is doing, right? And I get to swipe in, right? I hit the Tinder circuit, the plenty of fucks, exchange enough perfectly airbrushed selfies of my amazingly effortless life that, is carefully staged, of course. And you, of course, my perfect mate, bare-chested in a mirror holding a pup, right? That's what I've always wanted. We swipe in harmony. And so we make plans to meet. And of course, I'm there early, right? This is Operation MRI. I got to scope this out, right? What am I looking for? Got to see what kind of car you drive, right? It's a van. Okay, maybe. Okay. He's walking in. He's looking. Is his shirt untucked? What is he hiding under there? Maybe he's just French. Maybe it's just a French untuck. Maybe let's keep the fantasy going. I mean, he thinks we're going out for drinks, and what I'm doing is completely dissecting his personality, and I'm sharpening up my scalpels. Yeah, he's waxing on about how he thought his third marriage would be a charm, and he was sure he didn't make that mistake again. But lo and behold, he is a baby daddy. And I'm thinking, where do I fucking hide? This is not working out again. Like, where are all the nice guys? Womp womp. There goes my French fantasy over. I mean, if he would have just stayed quiet, I would have thrown him an MRI on the side, I mean, sometimes guys wait until you've kind of fallen for them to share their special brand of stupid.
Yes.
Let me stop complaining about all of this, because the truth is, I'm not, no matter what they say, I'm not one of those love at first sight types. No. I'm still recovering from my first boyfriend in the 4th grade who thought he'd love me by hurling dodgeballs at my face. Oh, that and the benefits of medical spanking, we can be after the show. Right? You guys know what I mean. That's what they used to do back then, right? They liked you, they pulled your hair, they threw balls at you. And I'm finding in my adult life that nothing's changed. They still are doing that. Anyway, back to my AC guy. So I asked him what he did for a living. I just gave away my joke. And he says, stiff nipples. And I'm like, oh my God. He tells me, he relaxes me. It's not what I'm thinking though. And I'm thinking, you could not know possibly what I'm thinking right now, truly. But, with all this complaining and all that, I said, just really, he wasn't for me, and I let him go. And, so I sit back in my car, right? And I light that smoke up that I probably shouldn't have as a doctor. And I'm saying to myself, you're so judgy, Marlena. Times are changing, people are changing. And then his van pulls out, and I just knew at that moment I made the right choice, right? Yeah. Family decal had it. He was married with 4 kids, 2 dogs, and a fucking gerbil. So that's my time. Back to the dictaphone.
Yeah. Woo. Thank you, Marlena.
That reminds me again.
Thank you, Marlena. And yeah, she's available. Just don't play dodgeball with her. So, all right. Thank you, Marlena. All right. Our next funny guy is Blaine Langberg. Is an orthodontist by day and a comedian writer at night. He's performed in New York and Connecticut, with some of his favorite spots include Stand Up New York and Comic Strip Live. So let's give it up for Blaine Langberg. Yeah.
Look about down in the mouth.
All right. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it. Great to be here with everybody. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. As Danny said, I'm Blaine Langberg. I live in Connecticut, and I live with my wife and my 3 daughters. I work with 8 women at my orthodontic office. That's 12 if you're a little slow on the math tonight. Yeah, obviously I like my toilet seats down. It's like I'm taking a course in estrogen immersion therapy. And if I'm a little cranky on Zoom tonight, that's because I have PMS. We all cycle together. It's really a thing. I didn't even know. But things are looking up for me. Yeah. My 3 daughters convinced us to get a pet. And I put my foot down and I said, okay, if we're going to get a guinea pig, it has to be male. So now we have 2 male guinea pigs with big guinea pig balls. I actually checked, I know. So they're filling my testosterone tank. Okay, that's my alliteration quota for today.
Well, at least you have dinner.
So to be an orthodontist, I had to actually go through an anal dilation. Let me explain. So for 2 years in dental school, we're assigned with the medical students. And my first medical rotation, I'm put in with a gastroenterologist. Dr. Strang tells us that we're doing an anal dilation today. It's like, what is that? He tells us, well, when a patient is having a hard time taking a crap, they go in there and they stretch out the anal sphincter. I'm thinking, are you kidding me? All I want to do is be an orthodontist, straighten teeth for a living, fight the good fight against crowding, close that maxillary midline diastema. That means space. I'm showing off. Create beautiful smiles that last a lifetime. That's in my new patient brochure. But no, I am literally bending down at Harvard, looking up somebody's asshole while Dr. Strang uses his 4 fingers and a dollop of KY jelly while he dilates an anus. Talk about starting from the bottom and working your way up in your profession. But the one good thing that came from that, the one thing I still use to this day out of that rotation is I can spot an asshole anywhere. So I'm really happy that the handshake is coming back. I don't know about you guys, but it's finally back in action after COVID. And you can learn a lot about a person by their handshake. You have the person that has the vice where they squeeze hard. Those guys are controlling. Or how about the lingerer, where they never let go, codependent. Now, the ones that I really do not like are when you go in and for the squeeze and they don't squeeze back. That's the dead fish. Those people have given up on life. But what is absolutely worse than the dead fish is the accidental dead fish. That's where you go in for the shake and they prematurely squeeze before you can fully engage. You become the dead fishor and not the fishy. That happened to me last week. I'm interviewing somebody at my office. Okay, first of all, she showed up. I should have hired her on the spot. But I go in there for the shake and she grabs my 3 fingers. I have no leverage for the completion of the shake. I'm in handshake no man's land. She didn't give me a fair shake. So now, even through the whole interview, I couldn't concentrate because I know she's thinking that Dr. Langberg, he's given up on life. So I couldn't hire her. Now, to avoid such awkwardness, I'm a hugger. It's a little tough with the Me Too movement, but I think that's passing, so it should be okay.
Yeah.
So I know what you're all thinking, and yes, it's true. The rumors are completely true. Right now on Zoom live, you are seeing the love child of Larry David and Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. It's true. And here's a fun tidbit about me. I wrote a book called Journey of a Jubu. Totally shameless plug. You can get it online. And it's good. It's about a neurotic Jewish dentist searching for inner peace. You write what you know. And it's won awards, but don't ask my father how he likes it. I'm on the phone with my mom. She's like, oh, your dad's halfway through your book. I was like, that's great. Mom, put him on. Hey, Dad, how do you like the book? I'm excited you're reading it. Oh, it's okay. Just haven't gotten to the good part yet. So I'm driving home from work. Woo! Damn it. I asked the cop, is everything okay? He tells me, your license plate expired. I tell him I didn't know they went bad. License and registration. So I'm thinking to myself, Dr. Langberg, how do you get out of that one? I like to call myself Dr. Langberg in my head. Then I realize I have a patient who's a cop. So I give him the card and I said, oh, maybe you know Officer Brookside. He's a patient of mine. He has Invisalign. The cop goes, I'll be right back, doctor. So I'm by myself. I'm thinking, you know what? I think I got out of that one. Then I realized, oh my God, I just violated Officer Brookside's HIPAA compliance, our patient-doctor confidentiality. Now I'm freaking out because I bet the cops in his cruiser are phoning it in. Dispatch, we got a 1029, 76, ABCD. I'm going to need backup on Farmingville Road. And the HIPAA police are going to parachute down, snake to my car, cuff me and carry me on. My whole career's ruined over an $85 ticket. But then the cop comes back and he's like, you're all set, Dr. Langberg, but I got an incisor right here. You think you can fix it? Now I got to do a curbside consult and I'm 3 minutes from my house. You know how much I hate that? The cop's got to lie down in my backseat. I'm using his freaking flashlight to look in his mouth. Oh my God. Well, I'm just thankful that I'm not a proctologist.
Oh.
Thank you very much. I'm Blaine Langberg. I appreciate it. It's been fun.
Woo! Thank you, Blaine Langberg, everybody. Woo! Wow. It's talking about office visit or a house visit, more like car visit in the cops. Good. And what was I going to say? Something funny about it, but anyway, I forgot. But yeah, thanks, Blaine.
Thanks.
Cool. All right, our next comedian, all the way from Las Vegas, for me. It's actually not that far from me. But anyway, from Las Vegas, she's very funny. She performs all over Las Vegas and is very popular there. Let's give it up for April Brooker. Woo.
Hey, what's up? Woo! So, I'm April Brooker, and I'm looking for my roommate, May. May, where are you? What's up, everybody? Folks. Is anybody here kinky? Woo! Hey, leave these people alone. They're not kinky. Well, I just heard about Dr. Langberg. He sounds really kinky. Hey, leave him alone, you dummy. The correct term is textile American, and you're the kinkiest one here. I mean, you're fisting me now. Duh. Okay, but I thought I had your consent to fist you. To fist me, yes. For the guy jokes, no. Okay, all right. So anyway, as I said before, May and I are roommates. We got on Craigslist, where of course all the good things happen. And we are really happy we don't have to wear masks anymore. And April, why are you happy about not wearing a mask? In those days, you were a gutter ventriloquist. I see it's going to be that kind of a show. But anyway, folks, I'm not looking for Mr. Right. I'm just desperately seeking Mr. Okay. And April, what are you doing on the internet looking for some random guy from Oklahoma? Not a random guy from Oklahoma, May. Mr. Okay is an Odu. You know, like my ex, the one that everyone liked. They said the same thing about Jeffrey Dahmer. But he's got a hot body in his refrigerator. You know what, May? You're just jealous that I have the better love life. Can I tell you a secret? Sure, May. Your older brother doesn't count. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm seeing 2 men right now. Yeah, that's right, 2. Let me guess. Could they be Glenn and Jerry? No, I got it. Baskin and Rogan. Oh, yeah? Well, your last boyfriend had Made in China written on his butt. Chucky had a really successful movie career. You know, May, I just want to find the guy that's the perfect 10. Only girl, so far the best you've done is a 3.5. And that's in centimeters.
Yeah.
Okay, May, you have been shady to me this whole show. Say something nice. Hey, girl, I'm so glad you stopped drinking. Oh, thanks. That was a hard thing for me to do. I got sick and tired of you slurring my words. Now, let's switch the subject for a minute. You never talk about your family in Pocatello, Idaho. Ollie, girl, I don't like them. That's not good. Fine. I have a sister named June. Wait a minute, May. You have a sister named June? Yeah. We don't talk. Do you think she's jealous of your career? She's never said anything. Never? No, she's a mime. Wait, she's a mime? Yeah, and a really inconsiderate one at that. She picked the hardest job for a ventriloquist to say. I see, but you know, that's terrible. Oh, I agree. She's been this way since we've been kids. You see, we used to take these long family car trips, and she still holds a grudge. Now she's made it her life's business to win the quiet game. Oh, yeah, she has. But you know, May, you should make up with her. I mean, you know, life's short. Well, girl, we have absolutely nothing in common. You see, I'm claustrophobic. She loves being trapped in a box. It turns her on. This is my impression of her at a dinner party. Okay, now I guess there can't be a July and August. Well, girl, those are my parents. Your parents? Yes. My father was a sock. My mother was a pillowcase. I came into this world a lonely, confused piece of thread. Okay. Now September and October can't be that bad. Oh, they're horrible. They're like loser twin brothers that live in Las Vegas. Their business dried up. Their business. What was their business? The mob. Yeah. They were watching the movie Casino and they thought that it would be a great idea, but they forgot that in the end, Vegas goes corporate. But there's some sibling rivalry because my business in Las Vegas is booming. And what is your business? Being a sugar baby. You see, it's a job and a half. I'm a girlfriend, a naughty nurse, and a sex doll rolled into one. Indeed you are. Now, I'm not even going to ask about November, December, January, and February. Oh, they're not so bad. That's my aunt, my uncle, my dog, and my cat. All right, there can't be a March. Oh, there is. That's my cousin. She's a success story of the family. She works at Neiman Marcus. Neiman Marcus, is she a puppet in the toy department? No, she works in intimate apparel. She's a fashion mannequin. A fashion mannequin. Yeah, which leaves April. That's you, dummy. Say goodnight. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, April.
Thank you.
Great.
Sorry, got technical issues here. Okay. Yeah. Hey, April Brooker, everybody. Yeah, always great to have her. I met her on Zoom a couple of years ago on other Zoom shows and everything, and always great to have you on the show. Thanks,
Thank you.
April.
Thank you.
Yes. Thanks. And already then, let's see. Already, I hear, sorry, again, trying to look for things here. All right. Your next funny guy from New York, he actually has been on the Good Timing show. You can see that on Peacock TV. It's great. It's a great show. It's well, when you see, you'll see more. It's about senior citizens going, taking some training and having fun with Joe Firestone. But it's on the Peacock TV and you can see it free. So let's get for the next funny guy, and I've seen him many times too. It's Ziggy Cesar. Woo, Ziggy Cesar.
Woo, Ziggy. Yeah.
Thanks,
Hey.
thanks, Danny. People say I'm a little wishy-washy. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I'm not sure. I went to a diner the other day, and the menu was bigger than the Bible. So I said to the waiter, "What do you recommend?" He said, "Page 28." I said, "Is that in Exodus or Leviticus?" He said, "Here would be the Iliad. This is a Greek diner." So I said, "What's popular?" And he said, "For you, bagel and lox." And I'm wondering, how did he know I was circumcised? And anyway, why do I ask what's popular? Just because something's popular doesn't mean it's good. I mean, look at the Real Housewives of anywhere. But I said, okay, I'll have a bagel and lox. He said, toasted or untoasted? I said, yes. He said, it comes with either salad or fries. I said, I don't know. Let me have fries. He said, cottage fries, waffle fries, crinkly fries, barbecue fries, standard fries, home fries, sweet potato fries, cheese fries, freedom fries. I said, forget it. Just let me have a salad. He said, of course. Cobb salad, Waldorf salad, Caesar salad, chef salad, cucumber salad, Greek salad, Mediterranean, tossed, untossed. I said, can I just have the house salad? He said, of course. Italian dressing, French dressing, Russian dressing. No, we don't have Russian anymore. Now it's Ukrainian dressing. I said, no, just give me potato chips. He said, of course. Ruffled, rippled, salted, unsalted, veggie, Lay's, Pringles, Utz or Utz. I still don't know how to pronounce it. I said, you know what? Just let me have potato salad because that takes into account potatoes and salad. He said, great choice. German potato salad, American potato salad, creamy, low fat. I said, you just let me have coleslaw. There's only one kind of coleslaw. He said, we don't carry that. I said, you know what? Just let me have the bagel and lox, nothing on the side. He said, of course. He comes back an hour later and he says, by the way, I never asked you what kind of bagel you wanted. You want onion? I said, don't ask. I just want a plain bagel, cream cheese and lox. He said, very good. Unfortunately, we ran out of lox. I said, so why did you ask me what kind of bagel I wanted? He said, I was curious. And now I've lost my appetite. So I said, you know what? Just give me a cup of coffee. No, don't, because I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, do you want regular? Do you want decaf? Do you want espresso? Do you want cappuccino, frappuccino, mochaccino? Then you're going to say, do you want whole milk, 1%, 2%, almond milk for 90 cents more, breast milk? And then you're going to go into, do you want raw sugar, cane sugar, granulated sugar, equal, sequel, trivia, sweet and low, sweeter and lower. I don't want coffee anymore. He said, he never would have said that. That's ridiculous. I said, you know what? Just give me a glass of water. He said, of course. Tap water, sparkling water, mineral water, rainwater, tears. I said, just give me a check for the things I didn't have. He said, cash or charge. So I just walked out. And luckily there was a hot dog vendor right across the street. So I said, you know, that diner drove me crazy. So many choices. He said, I know exactly what you mean. I get half my customers from there. I said, let me have a hot dog. He said, of course. Do you want a footlong? Do you want a wiener? Do you want a cocktail frank? Do you want boneless, skinless? I just walked away and I could hear him saying, do you want sauerkraut, mustard, ketchup, coleslaw? How come he had the coleslaw? No. So now I'm shaking and I feel I need help. So I call it 24-hour therapy hotline. And I hear Dial 1 for Freudian, 2 for Jungian, 3 for family, 4 for sex therapy, 5 for animal assisted therapy, 6 for animal assisted sex therapy. So I just hung up. And I keep walking. I see a sign for a psychic. So I go in there and I say, I can't make a decision. Can you help me? And she said, of course. Do you want a palm reading? Do you want a tarot card reading? Do you want a seance? Do you want a Ouija board, a crystal ball, magic 8 ball? So I just left and she cursed me on the way out. So I get home and my wife says, did you eat anything? And I said, no, what's in the fridge? She said, nothing. I said, thank God. She said, let's go to the diner. And I said, should we walk? Should we Uber? Should we Lyft? Should we rollerblade? Should we roller skate? She said, shut up. Let's just go to bed. And I'm thinking, should we cuddle? Should we snuggle? Anyway, I'm Ziggy Susser. Thanks, everybody.
Wow, very good.
Woo!
Ziggy. Yeah, wow. It shows what life can be when you got a lot of decisions to make. Wow. I thought my life was complicated.
You need to concierge.
Thank you, Ziggy Scissor. Okay, our next comedian from Chicago, and let's see, we're gonna find you here. Sorry, got lost here. I'm having trouble with the controls here. Okay, here we go. Our next comic actually will be performing with the Bad Moms of comedy, as seen on the Kelly Clarkson Show this Friday at the Laughing Academy in Glenville. Please welcome Denise Medina. Yay.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm changing my view to gallery so I can see all your beautiful shining faces. Yes. Hello. My name is Denise Medina, and my in-laws think I'm attractive, but in a weird kind of way. Instead of calling me a tall drink of water, they call me, they're Mexican, so they call me a tall drink of horchata because I'm sweet, I'm white, and not good for their son. They call me whore for short. All right. I think you guys have heard these jokes before. That's okay. That's okay. So, I told my husband that I'm pansexual, and he said, pansexual, what the heck is that? Pansexual. I had to explain it to him. I said, listen, pansexual means I will have sex with you for every pan you wash. Dishes. And I see a trip to Target in his future. Yes, I do. A lot of stuff has been going on. My dad got sick. He hit a rough patch, and he got stuck with me taking care of him. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Like, he got stuck with me because my nursing skills are somewhere between Mother Teresa and a drill sergeant. Okay, let me tell you, he called me Nurse Ratchet. So we were arguing constantly, but he's doing really great now that I'm not there. Yeah. He said I was mean because I forced him to eat my cooking. I can't cook by order of the fire marshal. He said I was mean because I forced him to take drugs, and not the fun kind. I said, listen, Dad, they will not let you smoke antibiotics. I asked. Yeah. But he said cancer wasn't his biggest problem. I was his biggest problem.
Ooh.
Yeah. He called me stage 5.
Oh.
Cute little nickname I have now. But we did share a tender moment. We did talk about the time he asked me what I wanted to put on Mom's tombstone. And I said pepperoni, mushroom, onion, and green pepper. Because it's headstone, not tombstone. Tombstone is a pizza.
That's right.
And I love pizza. Oh, pizza's so good, you guys. I love it. But I've heard people compare pizza to sex, and that's where I disagree. Because I have never been disappointed by a pizza. No. So I'm happy to do shows online. I love doing it. But I feel like I have to talk about the pandemic. I've been streaming a lot of services, and there's a new show on Netflix. It stars Teresa Caputo and Louis C.K. It's called The Medium and the Masturbator. And they're the perfect duo because Teresa thinks she hears dead people, and Louis thinks he hears consent. Listen, I love Louis, just not as much as Louis loves Louis. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but also I've watched I've watched NASCAR and I'm not really into it. Anybody into NASCAR here? No, that's because NASCAR is not scary enough. It's boring. Like if I want to see fast left turns, I would just go to the high school parking lot. They need to step it up a little bit, make it more like real life. They need to put potholes all over the track, and not just any kind of pothole. They need to put Chicago style potholes all over the track, like you got to keep your eye on car 23. Otherwise, what happened? I fell into a sinkhole. Because Chicago is not only known for its deep dish pizza, we are known for our deep dish potholes. Yes, we are. So I don't really watch much of that. Yeah, and I'm glad live shows are back. I like doing live shows, but you have to be careful out there because there are people still acting like garbage. I heard that a woman gave a hand job at a comedy club, and the mom in me was appalled. Because you shouldn't be giving out handies unless you have enough for everyone.
That's right.
That's right. Moms are into sharing, But yeah, talking about the pandemic, I feel like I have to talk about it. And listen, I don't think we ever needed vaccine mandates, and this is not political. I think we just needed better delivery systems. I think we needed I don't know. We just needed to put the vaccine in a Twinkie or on a pizza topping. Or in a ho-ho or in a hoe, I don't think the CDC should have marketed the vaccine or Fauci. I think we should have had Victoria's Secret models, market the vaccine. Like for every vaccine, you get a free panty. Like who doesn't love a free panty? Come on. Yeah, I think we should have put the vaccine in lotion, lube, and Kleenex. Because then we would be vaccinating ourselves and each other 10, 20, 40 times a day. Yeah. And even the 1 minute man, he would be a hero because he's doing it for science. We could have been done with this a long time ago, you guys. That's all I'm saying. We never needed mandates. We just needed better delivery systems. Like put the vaccine in a blunt. Watch how many motherfuckers line up for that, right? Yeah. But I've heard people say, well, Denise, crackheads don't get the vaccine. Well, that's because there's no crack in it. You need to put the vaccine in a pill so we can crush it up and put it in our cocaine and we can snort it up. Open the clubs. We would have been done with this a long time ago. I've also heard that people like to put stuff up their butts. So I think we should have put the vaccine in an enema or a suppository or a gerbil is all I'm saying. Just make it fun and delicious. You guys have been fantastic. I'm Denise Medina. Thank you so much. Let's give it back to Danny.
Woo! Thank you, Denise. Yeah, come on, let's make Denise head of the CDC. We need her.
Yeah.
Yeah, great ideas. Thanks. Right, and now we're going to have some words of wisdom from the ancient baby boomer. He's we're special guest today. The ancient baby boomer, everybody.
Woo!
Oh, thank you, Danny. Usually about this time of days, I fall asleep on the couch watching The Price is Right. But I love all you people, and I really wanted to be here. So, back in my day, there was a special love song that I love to sing for you now. Oh, love to love you, baby. 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 You know the rest of the song. Yeah. Well, that's my era song, because nowadays I can't understand what you kids listen to, you kids listen to the streaming service. What do you call it? The Specify, Liquify, the Spotify. Oh, yeah. Back in my day, all we had were 78 RPM records. Oh, you'd invite all your friends over for a sock hop at your house, and you'd be doing the frog and the swim and the dive and the mashed potato. And then your friends would say, "Oh, that's a real hip Bobby Vinton record you got on. What's the title?" And you try to read it, but the darn record's going so fast it would make your eyes cross, and they would hurt for days. Oh yeah, yeah. It's not this music's not the same anymore. Nowadays you kids listen to these fancy rock and rollers with one name. Like what's your name? Banana. And their other rock and roller friends there. Sounds like Tigger. Was it Pouncy, Flouncy, Bouncy, Beyonce? Oh yeah. Back in my day, all we had were rock and rollers with multi-syllabic names, like Engelbert Humperdinck. Oh, and you'd run out of breath introducing people like meet Igor Sikorsky. He's gonna take Ivan Turgenev on a helicopter ride. And after all that talking, your mouth would hurt for days. Oh yeah. Even now you kids, listen to regular music on a speaker. You got one of those things in your ears. What do you call them? The Airbuds? Oh, back in my day, all we had to stick in our ears were just regular rosebuds. Yeah, we had to go to the garden and pick out rosebuds and stick them in our ear and pretend we were people from the future. Oh, and the thorns from the rosebuds would scratch your inner ear, and the blood would be streaming down all over your body, and it would hurt for days. Yeah. Even nowadays, you kids, you don't even look up things normal anymore. You look things up on what's that called? The googly eyes, goggles. Back in my day, the only way to find anything out was look it up on Encyclopedia Britannica.
That's right.
Let's say if you wanted to know the average amount of rainfall in Finland, you had to go to Volume F and pull it off the shelf, and there'd be so many volumes that they'd fall on top of you, and they'd be crushing your chest cavity, and you'd be gurgling in your own chest fluids trying to breathe, and it would hurt for days. And even now, you kids, you don't even drink normal coffee anymore. You go to those fancy places. What's that called? Galaxy Buck, a Solar Buck, a Universe Buck, Starbuck. Oh, back in my day, all we had was Instant Sanka. Oh, we didn't have any real cups. We had to boil water and pour it into our bare hands, and then throw the Sanka in what was all gravelly, and then try to drink it all. And all that hot gravel would tear your throat apart, and your throat would hurt for days. Oh yeah. Even now, you kids, you play those crazy video games with the Pong and Super Mario. And Mary O doesn't even look like a nice Irish girl. Back in my day, all we had to play with was lawn jarts. Up the lawn chart, and you'd swing it back, and you'd throw it up in the air, and it would come sailing down and penetrate at your brother's shoulder, and it would hurt for days. Yeah, yeah. Even now, I can't enjoy watching football. You kids, you got it so easy. You get a 2-minute warning. You can go and make a sandwich and take a tinkle. Back in my day, we didn't have such a thing. If you wanted to go take a pee-pee, you had to run to the bathroom before the next play started. And sometimes you'd be rushing so fast you'd accidentally zip up your pee-pee in your pants, and it would hurt for days. Well, I'm tired out just complaining about it, so I'm take a nap. Back to you, Danny.
Ooh, thank you. Hey, the ancient baby boomer. Let's ooh, yeah, I guess times were more exciting back then, but also painful, for days. So, ooh, thank you for those words of wisdom. Yes. All right, our next comedian, she's actually the co-producer of the show. She came up with the idea, and also you can also see her on Good Timing on Peacock TV. Let's give it up for Elaine Witt. Yay!
Thank you so much. April, last time we were together, I think you got up with your friend to go to the bathroom, and your dog was sitting there, a brown and white dog, and I took a picture of it.
Denver,
and I put it on Facebook. I thought it was so funny that the dog was in one of these sheets. It's so cute. Yes. Anyway, back to me. So about me. So Danny and I produced the show together, and we go back because Danny was best friends with my late ex-husband. He's late and he's an ex, and he was Chinese, so we celebrated Chinese New Year, and Danny helped me find his family, and gang hey fat choy Danny and everyone, because we still celebrate with our late friend, his friend. He's not my friend anymore. But what's funny is I was looking at old videos, and I found that my ex-husband, who's dead, he may as well, because he took one of my jokes. When I married him, my cousin said, "Oh, you have 3 New Years." Next thing you know, on his video, he took my joke. So I thought that was, I guess, not funny. That's for sure. Nobody's laughing. I'm killing it literally. But I think it's funny because we had 3 New Years. And first we had the New Year in January 1st. You had fireworks. Then the Chinese New Year, last Sunday, fireworks. But then comes the Jewish New Year. No fireworks, Alex Scott. Unless you have my Aunt Esther's gefilte fish with a lot of horseradish, then you have fireworks. But we only had one thing in common, he and I, which is probably why we got divorced, and that was fish heads. Like on New Year's Eve at Chinese New Year, we had fish heads in the soup, and then my mother would serve fish heads in the white fish on Sunday morning in those bagels that Ziggy's Diner didn't have for him. But back to me. So I wanted to talk today about a seminar I took. It cost $5,000, and it was called the Making a Difference in the World seminar. And I know this is for teachers, medical, and rock and roll, but I forgot my teacher joke, so I'm going to go back to that, because I was a school teacher in a very tough neighborhood in Queens, Jamaica, Queens. And I wanted to tell you about the time Carol Jenkins, Ziggy, you remember Carol Jenkins from Fox 5 News, or Tom or Alex, remember her? She graduated from, she graduated many years before I started teaching there. She graduated from there, and 2 NFL stars went there. So you might say to yourself, why do you say the school was the toughest school in all of New York? Because the ATM bandit went to my school, and I didn't teach him to be so good in math that he figured out how to rob ATMs. Because you know why? What he did was he took the ATMs right out of the bank in the middle of the night. That's what he did. He didn't just figure out how to steal from the ATM itself. I just made that up. Okay. That ending part of the joke. He didn't steal because of the math algorithms. He stole the whole ATM. But the truth is, in my school, and this is on Zoom, and this is on YouTube and Facebook, people from my school could testify, the safe was stolen out of my principal's office. Now, you might think I mean a little gray safe with a key. No, a real big giant safe was stolen, do you think maybe Officer Reed, the security guard at the desk, had anything to do with it whatsoever? That's all. I'm telling you the truth. But you know, when I was teaching measurement, they never gave me money for supplies. So I went home. I brought in my bathroom scale, my Weight Watchers scale, and my cocaine scale. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. Danny wouldn't put a drug addict in his show. I never went to Weight Watchers. Well, I ruined that joke. But Weight Watchers has a cute little scale, and it has a tray. You could put a nice big banana split on there with syrup and a cherry and whipped cream. Okay, well, I'm glad I'm retired, because you know how we would sing the birthday song when we were little? Are you 1? Are you 2? Are you 3? You know how my friends celebrate now, Danny? Lumbar 1, L2, L3. Well, to change the subject drastically, you know, I had another husband. I had 2 husbands, and you know, he didn't have a spine. And people say, how could you say that? Yeah, he was spineless. I mean, if Marlena saw his MRI, she'd see he didn't have a spine. He was spineless. That's because he put rods in. That's why he put the rods in. Okay, killing it here. So I wanted to talk about, now I'll talk about the seminar, because I'm so practiced and I'm so tight with my set tonight. So I'll tell you about the seminar I went to for $5,000. It was called Making a Difference in the World Seminar. And they put you in breakout rooms, and they had each person tell what they're doing to make a difference in the world. $5,000. The first guy gets up there, and we each had 6 minutes each, just like this. And he starts talking and talking and talking, and he uses up the next girl's turn and my turn. Guess what he was making a difference in the world about? You won't believe it, Danny. He was making a difference in the world by ending selfishness. And he took up all our time. He was taking up my time and the other girl's time. And the other girl, later, we complained. We said we paid $5,000 and he took up the whole time. And she was from Myanmar, is that how you say it, Myanmar? And she was trying to get her 30,000 aunts and uncles and people out of there to freedom. And they asked me, what are you here for, Helene? This was after he took up all our time. We had to go like afterwards to get our money's worth. And I said, I'm trying to get my set to have 6 laughs per minute, just like Joan Rivers. She had 6 laughs per minute for 1 hour. I had 5 laughs per minute for 9 minutes. And I said, that's my goal. So you know what this guy, what Maisie said, the girl with the Myanmar? She said, Helene, you mean you want to end sadness in the world? You want to bring laughter to the world? That's what you mean, right? I said, it's my $5,000, bitch. I want to make a difference in my life by having 6 laughs per minute for my set. I don't care about the rest of the world. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. But with that money that I'll make like Joan Rivers, she had an apartment for $86 million. I could end selfishness and bring the people of Myanmar freedom. Thank you. Now I'm really done.
Hey, Helene Witt, everybody. Yes, you can.
Elaine.
You can make money by ending selfishness. Okay. It's a good cause. So, hey, Elaine. Yeah, and tough school teacher too. Yes, that's a great. Thanks, Elaine. And all right, now also in New York, our next funny guy. Let's give it up for Alex Glatt. Alex Glatt.
Thank you. Right. Well, my sketch is about 2 superheroes, Green Lantern and Superman. And Green Lantern starts off by saying, sorry, I'm late. Carol and I got hitched 2 weeks ago and I just woke up. Superman, you were there at a wedding with my family and you came as Clark. Did you get the wedding invitation for your ex-girlfriend, Lana Lang? He's marrying Lex Luthor, your ex-arch enemy, now your frenemy. What do you think about it? Superman, I really don't know what's gotten into her. We used to be tight. I was her first, you know. Yeah, she complained it was over in a flash. Too messy. Hey, I'm Superman. So the bed broke. Big deal. I healed her hips with steel. She's as good as new. Green Lantern. Whoa. Wait a minute. That jet nearly hit us. I'm telling you, it's getting harder and harder. I'm being annoyed in this airspace too long with planes, alien ships, and satellites hitting me and crashing. I hate to do the cleanup. I tried blaming it on the Flash, meteors that I couldn't stop in time, or saying that I was somewhere else. Damn that Luthor. Now that he's gone straight, I can't even blame it on him. There are safeties on satellites with cameras in the sky. I can't even say I was somewhere else now. Shit, you know how expensive they are on a reporter's salary? I flooded the market with diamond and gold so much it's not even worth to crush the coal and make diamonds out of it. Forget about rare earths or uranium. It takes trips to the sun to burn that stuff off. That stinks too. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta run. Oh, what's this falling off another building? Green Lantern. That reminds you, why do you keep saving her? Oh, she doesn't bug me about marriage. It's a great lay. As I don't break the beds. Most important, she's a great cook and a dessert maker. Duck l'orange and crepes tonight. Gotta go before she hits the ground. I'll be back as soon as I can. An hour or two, maybe 3 later, in Los Angeles, Superman meets up with Green Lantern, 3,000 miles where they were in New York. Green Lantern is working hard. He's putting out yet another fire in Los Angeles. He's throwing dirt on it, sand on it. Started when a fat movie director getting liposuction suddenly woke up, stumbled into a fat waste near container near a Bunsen burner. The exogenous and all the exogenous fat stores exploded into a conflagration that nearly took over Los Angeles. Green Lantern, Superman, where the hell have you been? I've been here over an hour. You've been gone, after saying you'd be right back after saving Lois. Who else were you saving and with what? And I can't screw and tell. It wouldn't be right. It's a wonder I got here at all. I can tell you it was super. Green Lantern, there is nothing right about you. You're screwier than a corkscrew. I'm glad I'm not a female, or at least one wearing a chastity belt made out of kryptonite with you around. Who the heck knows what you picked up from whom? Especially with those alien worlds you visited. I'm lucky my undies are intact. How the hell does anyone know if you brought any of those diseases back, like from somewhere else? I'm fine. I take a blood test every other week. I've been human and alien parasite free for years. Let's put out this fire. Green Lantern says, how? I've been working on this for hours. Like you were supposed to be helping me. Easy. Move back half a mile while I piss it out. I've been waiting for you to shut up so I can do this. Finish it. He finishes. 3 shakes. That helped. Green Lantern. Geez, you really stink up in the neighborhood. No wonder Metropolis smells like it. Well, you wanted to fire out, right? Yeah, but I didn't want Los Angeles Valley to be the toilet bowl of the world. Now this stuff has to be trained out. Not my job, Superman says. I'm taking off to the Marianas Trench to take care of the other side. It's almost full, so I'm going to have to find another place soon. Sometimes I can't make it to the sun fast enough. These undies don't wash well. Green Lantern, what a treat you are. Such a great friend. Not. Oh, I just remembered. I spoke with John Johns, the Martian Manhunter, and he told me last week that while he was having sex with Wonder Woman on the roof, he was sexually attacked from above. It seems that he turns invisible while he's having sex. And Wonder Woman had her invisible plane on the roof and witnessed a radar speed flash that took place. And she's really just thinking that someone would try to screw her without her knowledge. Whether or not it was an old lover. Don Jones is hunting after you after checking with Mon-El and Lois Lane. Both said You were the only bastard who would do it. Oh, did you do it? With John Jones? I knew it felt different. I usually get wonder, well, why she's asleep sunbathing. She always asks that I put sunscreen on her, which she hasn't asked for in a while. But she always let me have sex with her and never complained before. Yeah, well, you're going to have to do something about it now because I see the Martian Manhunter flying in. Oh, I'm headed to the sun right now. I figure a couple of weeks you'd do it to blow over here. Give him this unexpired coupon for a burger at Indigestion Palace. I got to fly fast now. I hear him calling me a few choice names. I like my face enough not to want to get it hurt. And that was my sketch. It did not blow over well.
Well, thank you, Alex. Yeah, Alex can make jokes about superheroes because he's a superhero himself. So he's flying right now. He's flying up in the sky. He's right there and he's flying around. Well, you know the details. I still read comic books too myself. I'm not sure you do. You probably do, right, Alex?
No, not anymore. They've
okay.
gotten too expensive. When they turned $4 for a 20-page Turner, you know, now I gave that up. Now they're like $6 for a 20-page Turner.
Yeah, 4 or $5. Yeah, I know they are. They're not 12 cents anymore. But yeah. All right, thanks, Alex.
No 10 cents anymore either.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, Mon El. Yeah, I haven't heard that name in a while. It's one of the characters. But anyway, all right. Thanks, Alex. All right, our next comedian, she's RN, as in real nurse, and now retired nurse. She wears a uniform in public just to look vulnerable to people. So that's her next side hustle. So let's give it for Georgia Metz, everybody. Yay, Georgia Metz.
Yay.
And
Hi.
find the, here we go. Hold on, and there we go. There.
Jesus, it's almost like doing improv. I don't know when I'm going to start, and then I have to jump right into my set. So here I am. So you'll see I'm wearing my patient pajamas. I don't usually wear pink, even though, and I don't want to say it's gender assigned. I'm not into that because it has a dog on it. So it doesn't really matter. But I had a surgery last Thursday. With surprise, same day surgery. I'm like, is that legal? So they put you under at 11 a.m. and they're kicking you out the door at 6 p.m. I said, it reminds me of my days in the fraternity when you would go unconscious at 11 p.m. and then they'd kick you out at 6 a.m. So it was the same. And I'm under the influence of God knows what, and God knows what they're doing to me, fiddling around with my parts while I'm laying on the stretcher. So what do you think? I didn't tell the nurses I was a nurse. I kept my mouth shut. I said, no, let me just see how she acts if she thinks I'm just an ignorant nobody. I say nothing. Then she walks over to me. I have the same exact uniform. So I'm going to give a shout out to Milstein Pavilion. I work for the same mogul hospital system here in New York. I think they're across the country. I don't know what their names are over there. So I didn't say anything to her until she came over to me. I said, I have the same exact uniform in my closet. She goes, well, how did you get that? I said, because I'm also work for this institution. Now, she stepped up her A game. It's really hard when you're a nurse, then you have to be like a patient. You know how hard it is to turn off that knowledge? I let her tell me everything. I had to pay attention to her. Yeah, all right. So the best part was when the anesthesiologist came over to me and I gave him my great joke in the OR. I said, Doc, I used to date an anesthesiologist, but we had to break up because when we were together, I didn't feel a thing. He's laughing. I said to myself, does that make any sense to screw around with an anesthesiologist who's going to give me sedation right now? I mean, I'm really taking a chance. But there's a lot of witnesses in the room. I also said the joke about the dermatologist. I said, I used to date a dermatologist, but he was always getting under my skin. So we had to break up. Oh, he loved that. He laughed really hard at that joke. And there's a radiologist on the stage here. I also dated a radiologist, but he was always so freaking depressing. He only saw the negative side of life. Everything was in black and white. It was, I had to break up with him. And that's just the way it is. But when you're a nurse, you can date anybody in the hospital. I had so much fun. I worked in endo. Talk about assholes. Half of them are my coworkers. Oh, thanks. Thanks for that one. I didn't really. And there's a dentist out there. So I want you to know that my dentist treats me like royalty. I have more crowns in my mouth than the Buckingham Palace. Just
Wow.
I like all this laughing. It's helping with my pulmonary function. I have to take a deep breath. It's hard to do that when you're talking a mile a minute. So, and so, so I go in the, people say, what do you do now that you're retired? Well, I sit in the waiting room of the hospital, any given floor, any given day, because I want to show support for the people who are waiting. And I also would like to start a rumor. You know, that's the only way you can get a union vote in the hospital. I thought we were number one. Well, now you're number two. I wonder what happened. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I dated, here I have, oh, and the OR. You have to be sterile to work in the OR. So I said, oh, does that mean that you don't have any children? Or how does that- you have to adopt? Oh, but imagine a doctor or someone who works in the OR and says, I'm an OR tech. And you go, well, aren't you supposed to be sterile? I don't know. So we have a future then, right? If you're sterile, I don't have to worry about anything so far. I wanted to talk about the nurse, the 5 fingers of nursing. What do you think is the finger, the most valuable finger a nurse could have? Is it this one? No, especially if you're out on the desk, you don't want people to see you. Is it this one? It depends. If you want to have sex on the job, you either put your ring on, which attracts more people, or you take your ring off, which attracts people. Is it the middle finger? Depends. If you get along with your nurse manager, you might be able to signal him this way, or you can use this for sign language in some other way. Is it this way? Only if your car battery died and you have to hitchhike home. This is the finger that we need. You know what this finger's for, right? Pushing up the suppositories, checking for, someone talked about looking up the a-hole. Oh, yeah, looks like I got my little flashlight. We have a little tiny flashlight and this finger with a glove on it. I'm like, I don't think anybody wants to see me come into their room. What are you doing? Guess what? You're having a colonoscopy. And guess what I'm doing? I'm giving you an enema. Huh. My friend said to me, Georgia, how can you do stand-up? How do you stand up in front of strangers and tell jokes? It's like, yo, I'm giving strangers enemas. So you think a joke is a problem? You know what the problem is? Giving enemas to my friends. Now that would be freaking embarrassing. I really have to wear a mask, right? The mask over my mouth and the mask over my eyes so they can't see me saying, holy mother of God. I have to sign a non-disclosure act. I'm sorry. So I had a good experience at the hospital, I have to say. I'm going to give them a 4.5 stars. I mean, after all, they paid my mortgage. I'm not going to do them dirty now. And I'm looking for, here, the discharge paperwork. Anybody ever had same-day surgery? You're half in the bag, whatever that means. You're stoned. Drugs all over the place. I mean, I can't believe it. You're out cold. And you wake up and don't know what's going on. People are talking to you and they give me this Bible right here. All these things. Well, this is what you can do. This is what you have to do. And then somewhere in here it says, you may resume light activities in 2 weeks. I said, oh, so in the meantime, I'm supposed to use a flashlight? What is light activities? I have to do it in the dark? I mean, I don't get it. Oh, light activities like folding towels and picking up this water. I think this is all I'm supposed to be doing. But every woman in the audience, every medical person in the audience knows full well that as soon as I was able to stand up on Friday, I was already doing light activities. That's just the way it is. I can only do what I'm accustomed to doing. My daughter is here, cooking, baking. Oh, your daughter is great. Sure she is. She's using my car, my debit card. Here's the grocery list, using my stove, serving on my dishes, and she gets the best end of the deal. So of course she's going to do all that for me. She eats for a week for free. She has to cook for herself. She lives in the city, so you could cook for me instead. But I'm thankful. This time she didn't let me carry the hamper full of clothes only to the first floor. Because she doesn't want me to have a relapse, because then she'll have to come back next week, and she's not in the mood for that. So I'd like to thank everybody for showing up, helping me laugh. I'm supposed to take a deep breath and hold it. Yeah, good luck. I'll do that after the show is over. Good night.
Yeah, good night. Thank you. Georgia Metz, everybody. Woo. Georgia Metz. Yeah, I learned, never knew about those 5 fingers there. Good to know. Yes. Alrighty then. your next funny guy also he's been on Good Timing, and he's told jokes over 1,000 jokes to comedians, including Rodney Dangerfield, Joan Rivers, and Phyllis Diller. And he also lectured on comedy at the Las Vegas International Ventriloquist Convention. He's on cruise ships all over New York. Let's give it up for Tom Padovano. Yay!
Thank you. Thank you. Now, I love performing comedy, but I've had a lot of jobs and some crazy bosses. Had this one. If I made a mistake, she'd say, Tom, look at the mistake you made. But if she made a mistake, it was, oh, Tom, look at the mistake we made. So I said, well, boss, look at the ugly dress we're wearing. I got fired. Oh, I had this other boss, a real Mama Luke, a chooch, a gavone. You know what I mean? Every day he'd say to me, so, working hard or hardly working? I grabbed his neck and said, well, boss, breathing hard or hardly breathing? I got fired. And I hate looking for a job. I went on this interview. They said, Tom, this job pays $1,000 a week, but in 6 months, it goes to $2,000 a week. I said, I'll come back in 6 months. And I come from a poor family in New York, but a loving family. Like every night, my mother had food on the table. I wish we had plates. Much better. And I remember when there would be a hole in my shoe, my father would put a piece of cardboard in there. And on that cardboard, he'd write Dr. Scholl's. Nice of him, you know? And I remember when I was 7, I said, Mom, am I adopted? She said, be patient. I'm working on it. Then I remember once saying, Mommy, I wanted a toy truck for my birthday. I didn't get one. I'm upset. She goes, but Tommy, you just turned 50. And I remember we didn't have birthday candles. So on my cake, my parents put highway flares. Yeah. Except my birthday was my father, mother, and a tow truck driver. Terrible. And yeah, I was such an idiot in school, always getting left back. I was the only kid in 3rd grade excused for jury duty. It's terrible. And you know, it was so embarrassing. My teacher made my parents write on the blackboard 100 times, we won't have more kids. Now, I have this disgusting apartment. It has bugs. And the other day, I ran out of Raid. So I sprayed a cockroach with lemon pledge. Yeah. It died, but had a great shiny finish. Yeah. Oh, I think my love life is finished. I said to my girlfriend, well, we've been dating. Have you been dating other men? She goes, oh, Tom, come on. You're the 5th guy to ask me that today. I'm not good at meeting women. I went to a club. Hey, babe, what's your sign? Keep off. I was talking to this woman. She said she wants to date 10 men at the same time. I said, listen, I'm not into that. I'm monotonous. But now I'm on the Elvis Presley dating app. Love Me Tinder. Every time I get rejected, I say, well, thank you. Thank you very much. You know, it's kind of weird that way. Now, my best friend is single and Jewish. He's on J-Date. I'm single and Italian. I'm on Hey, Dave. Hey. Oh, I went to this wedding, half Italian, half Jewish. Everything was done 50-50. Even the songs. Have your mother. Have mother. I mean, everything was done at 50-50. They made men wear yarmulkes on the yarmulkes and add for Vito's Pizza. And you know, at a Jewish ceremony, they have the groom step on a glass. Here, the groom was Italian. He punched it. And you know, it was a big wedding, and I don't like large gatherings. I'm a private person. I just had printed 1,000 none of your business cards. Maybe because I'm older now, you know, I know that I'm older, but there's people older than me. Did you know that Bugs Bunny is 80? Now when he says, "What's up, Doc?" It's his cholesterol. Porky Pig is 77. When he goes, "That's all, folks. It might be." Sad. And I haven't been feeling well, so I switched health plans. I used to be on Blue Cross. Now I'm with International House of Physicians. IHOP. Yeah, IHOP. International House of Physicians. Oh, they're wonderful there. They gave me this doctor, Dr. Julio Alejandro Bernstein. Oh, he examined me for less than 5 minutes and insisted I come back the next morning for an autopsy. You know, I used to go to emergency rooms to meet women. Yeah, I would say things to them like, "So, do you bleed here often? Let me ask you something. Are you O positive? Because I get the feeling you're my type." Yeah, that was amazing. Well, listen, you people have been wonderful, and I hope you've had as much fun and pleasure as I've had tension and emotional strain. Oh, don't worry about me. I'll lay down and I'll be fine. Thank you. Enjoy the show.
Hey, Tom Parlano, everybody. Yeah, he'll be fine. Yeah, he's fine. Woo. Thank you for watching. That's our show. And yeah, let's see. Here, I show everybody here. So thanks for watching Doctors, Teachers, and Rock and Roll. I'm Danny. That's your host, and a big hand to all the comedians who performed tonight. Marlena. And Blaine Langberg and April Brooker and Ziggy Susser, Denise Medina, and the ancient baby boomer Ed Smith, Helene Witt, Alex Glatt, Georgia Metz, and Tom Padovano. Yay! Woo. So thanks for
lot,
here
Danny.
thanks everybody. Hey.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
cool,
you,
everybody.
Elaine.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, everybody. We're
Thank
here
you,
every
guys.
last Wednesday. Yep. So.
How about Chip Jones? We have to start over. How about Chip Jones?
Face and stuff.
What? Tim Jones?
Chip Jones is here.
Oh, who's that? Who?
Chip, he's been here
Oh,
the
Chip
whole
Jones.
night.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. He was watching here. Yeah, he was here for a moment. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Chip Jones. Yeah, he was watching the show today, and he's been on here before, and he'll be on here in the future. So look for. Yeah, sorry, couldn't hear the. It was kind of muffled there. So yeah, Chip Jones, and yeah, and I'm Danny Detchy, and well, have a good evening, everybody. Catch you next time.
Thank you, Danny.
Bye,
You're the best.
everybody.
Bye,